Hi, BookTube, but I will do an intro because that's what I do.
Now listen, do you think anybody showing up at this podcast would be like, hey, wait, who is this person?
They might.
No.
If they don't read this behind them. It's the history shelf,
Right.
everybody. It's actually Peg and Martine. Martine is off camera,
Yes.
per usual. That is her MO. So we just thought today we'd make a bookish kind of Sunday kind of ramble, kind of a chat.
Yeah, it's so unlike us to ramble.
So different than the usual what we put out. People were really worried.
So different than our everyday conversation.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you guys could only see our everyday
You
conversations.
would run screaming.
Yes, you would.
There'd be a massive decrease in subscriber numbers.
Well,
Yes.
I wouldn't go that far.
Shocked and appalled.
Yes, as you can tell, you guys, this video is not going to be very structured, and we're
Or intellectual.
or intellectual. Well, I hope to be a little bit. Well, the books will
I'll
make me
leave
look
for that
intellectual.
I'll leave for the smart.
Okay. Well, I do have some books to show you, and Martine's gonna, be my color commentary.
Is that racist?
No. Listen, I refuse to not use color commentary. That is.
I feel like I should be wearing like a Howard Cosell jacket.
Oh my God, she's gonna. Listen.
Yeah.
She's gonna be adding the flavor.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm feeling
What she
pressure
does. This is a bookish Sunday chat with the both of us, and I know a lot of people were worried with the new location. Like, does that mean we'll never hear? Yeah, they're worried that we never will hear from Martine again.
One person. No.
Why can't you let me up the number
No.
to some?
No, let's be realistic. It was one person and it was idle curiosity.
It was one person
It
who
was
really
Peggy.
loves you.
It was
It was
Peggy.
not. Oh, it was Peggy
It's
Love.
Peggy.
Peggy Love out there was giving
Yeah.
some love
Yeah.
and said, I miss
No, I don't think
Martine.
she said that.
Listen.
No, I think she just said
We're
she
losing
couldn't
the
be
audience.
here because I'm enjoying the podcast a whole lot more.
Yeah. People like hearing from you,
No,
hon.
you
They
said
do.
The opposite meaning. Yes.
They enjoy your pepper to my salt.
What? Pepper makes me sneeze.
Okay, that's not where I was going with that. Yin and yang.
I'm saltier than you are.
You are saltier
Yeah.
than I am.
Yeah.
Although I have my moments, I can be salty.
It's cute when you're salty.
Apparently, it's
Judge
cute.
me
I
if
don't.
you're
No one
not
gets
salty.
afraid of me when I'm
No,
angry.
Exactly. It's not a Hulk moment.
It's not a Hulk moment.
No.
Well, I'll work on that.
Yeah.
What can I say? Yeah, what was that the other day? I said something. I said, it was today. I was like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
really angry. And she's like, you're angry right now? And I'm like, yes, quit telling me what to do.
I know. This is her anger face, and it's like a soft puppy looking at you. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
Just,
If I don't edit this out, please enjoy a window into our...
Please give me a treat. That's Peggy angry.
That's not entirely true.
You know what? You're funny when you're angry.
I do have
because
books.
You actually have to tell people
One
that
moment.
you're angry. Like people, you're like, no, I'm angry right now because otherwise people would know.
Let me tell you, I'm a slow burn type of chick. And when I burn, baby,
Yeah.
and when that fuse runs out,
It's cute.
well, no one's actually seen when the fuse runs out because of a very long fuse.
That is true.
Although I can get kind of irritable and cranky,
Cranky, yeah, but not angry.
but not angry. Okay, well, you know what? We do have books. Don't want to lose.
Moderately displeased.
Don't want to lose the audience just yet.
Listen, you said you wanted me here.
I do want you here. Okay, so the books I'm going to show are just I decided to group them into just a miscellaneous category.
I thought we were going to talk about the weather.
We are, but let me just gonna give them a heads up on the book situation, which is a miscellaneous grouping of like used books, but also some I picked up singles here and there. I try to have some type of logical grouping, or not even logical, just some type of grouping. Anyway, miscellaneous books, used, new, whatnot.
What?
And yes, so I was thinking, what could we name this video? And just the last few days here, well, let me just tell you, the air quality index in Colorado in the last 30, we've had air quality alerts the last 30 days, probably more now.
No, 35 days.
35 days. And, oh my God, yesterday was awful. We had all these plans for projects, running around doing errands outside. And it was this massive hazy shade of smoke and crap. And the air, it was on 155, and it said it's unhealthy for everyone to be out. My sister was out running errands. She came back. She's like, "Don't let Martine go out there because Martine
Which
has
she
asthma."
says on a regular basis, but for different reasons.
Don't let her out unattended.
Don't.
Martine is not. Why do we make Martine out to be some big baddie? She's not.
Ask the dogs.
That's the dogs. They love you. So she said she got home from her errands and she felt sick. And, Martine has asthma, and I think one night you were using a nebulizer just because you could not get it. So we've been kind of just housebound, and I've been trying to do a lot of reading. I've got a lot of reviews I got to get, cracking on. And so I've been doing that. But, today's another day where it's just really crappy out. And we're just hoping for a break because we have a lot to do. We really do want to get this place on the market and get out by fall, I hope.
Yeah, if I keep getting in fights with the next door neighbor, it's gonna have to be sooner.
You might want to stop doing that with the neighbor. She has a dog. It's like the Hound of the Baskervilles. It comes on its balcony and just barks down at you. Scares the living crap out of you.
The Bastardvilles.
The Hound of the. That's fantastic.
Oh, you can't even say. Yeah, but
I can't say it.
I wanted to say that it's high ozone season here.
Okay.
And also, it's the wildfires from California that have pulled in.
Yes, it's the fires from California. So I'm feeling really, all of our thoughts and prayers go out to our California.
And Oregon.
And Oregon.
And Washington.
I know Christy Lewis is out in California, and they're getting pounded with the smoke.
Oh,
and
my God.
It's pretty bad.
It's horrible. The sky is like... What is it? The color of gray peanut butter. It's awful.
There's smoke in the air when you see the sun. Normally you see it on your floor or on the pavement on the patio, and it's like a bright, clean light. Yeah. Instead, it's it doesn't even look real. It's orange. Yeah. So it's a very thick haze over the sun. So anyway, there's our weather update. So I hope you guys don't mind about 7 minutes of that. I hope you can always fast forward. I'm sure many of you might have. Hey, but you know what? I wanted to mention this one book that Martine picked up because she is a big fan of Jane Austen, and I know a lot of you guys are. I am embarrassed to say I have never read any Jane Austen.
Yeah.
A collective gasp.
And have you read Middlemarch?
No, I have not read Middlemarch, but I want to because I know that is your favorite book.
I was listening to it just last night again.
She was listening to it on audio. Sometimes she likes to listen to stuff to help fall asleep and chill out. So, Middlemarch is on my list of things, and I do want to read Jane Austen, but, and so Martine knows I love mysteries, and I was starting to try to collect some P.D. James, the Adam Dalgliesh.
Sure.
I try. It just sounds like dogleash to me. How do you say it?
You're close enough.
Okay. And so she found, she was interested in this because she loves all things Jane Austen. And by the way, I've seen the movies. I've seen Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility. So it's not like I don't know.
You really liked Emma.
I liked Emma. So yeah.
The one with Gwyneth.
I just haven't read them. But anyway, she picked up Death Comes to Pemberley. And she's real excited to read that, right?
Yeah, I've seen the limited series on Masterpiece Theater a couple of times, and I have it on Blu-ray, and so this is my first time reading the book.
Yes, so she picked that up, and I said I'd love to show it on the channel, and we're going to add that to our P.D. James collection.
Yes.
That's growing.
Yes.
Day by day. So that's her fun book right here.
Anna Maxwell Martin. Awesome. She was in Line of Duty.
Oh.
She's the one who's always giving Hastings a burr up the butt.
I do like her.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
And here's another book I think you might want to talk about. Now, let me just say before I get into it.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys, some of these, I've got so many books that I show you, and I put them in areas where I think, okay, this is a new area which I haven't filmed yet. I might have mixed these up, and if I have shown these before, I apologize. But I'm just going to go ahead through these anyway and show them again. So hey, if you're new to the channel, then hey,
We've never done this.
we've never done this before. Okay.
This is our first show.
So I felt remiss again in reading some certain classics, and I've just been seeing this book talked about a lot over the last few months on BookTube by different channels, and and to me it is historical fiction. It's not just a classic, it's historical. So I think I might have shown this, but I don't care. I'm showing it again. I picked up, where did I get it? Either Book Outlet or Hamilton Book, but I finally got around to picking up The Three Musketeers by Alexander Dumas.
Or if you're a fan of The Shawshank Redemption, Dumbass.
Alexander Dumas. Yes, no. That is a great part of that movie.
Yeah.
And I got it for real cheap, and it's this beautiful Pegasus Books edition, deckled-edged, Let me make sure the lighting is, because we kind of closed the blinds because my face was getting blown out. No, it's okay. I think we've got more light now. Okay. So it's a big old book, about 800 pages almost. So, and then I showed that to Martine, and she's like, oh, that's one of my, what did you say? Who was your favorite?
Oh, D'Artagnan, of course.
She loves D'Artagnan.
D'Artagnan wanted to be him.
Aww.
I mean, almost this is like the perfect type of, what do I want to say, edition for this kind of book. It's big, it's glossy.
Yeah.
You dive into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's glamorous.
It's glamorous.
Like D'Artagnan.
Like the feather in his hat.
Yes. Sorry for the glare on these. But, okay, so then I was going along and finding out from other channels, and maybe it was even on, there's probably a couple others, maybe even Steve's channel,
yeah.
That there was a sequel, which I didn't even know about. But there's even more than that, apparently. There's a whole series of them put out by Pegasus Books in the same beautiful editions. Well, this one actually, this was part of my book outlet haul. But I didn't show it the other day because I wanted to kind of group it with this one. And this is 20 years after. A sequel to The Three Musketeers. Well, apparently there's at least 3 more. Like one's called The Red Phoenix, one's called... And they're all coming out in these nice Pegasus... I am. So I already got these 2, and then I have a couple of others in my cart, or I'm kind of waiting to see. Oh, the flap got a little bent, but that's okay. Yeah. So, and I think I actually bought this one on Amazon because it was super cheap, like $10 or $11. But a few others are being added every day to like either Book Outlet or Hamilton Book, and I kind of check to see which sequels are showing up.
Does it have the others in the sequel, in the series listed?
Oh, hey, that's she's so smart.
No, I'm just curious for myself.
Yes, no, I think they should. We have, okay, here we go. These are, so they have the Three Musketeers, which we have. This one, 20 years after. Then they have the one I mentioned, it's the Red Sphinx, not the Red Phoenix, I think I said that.
Red Phoenix is Harry Potter.
Okay.
I'm joking.
Okay. Then there's The Last Cavalier, The Last Cavalier. It says here that I think 20 years after, these are kind of confusing to me because one says a sequel to The Three Musketeers, but there were several sequels.
Here's Goldie, say nothing.
Hi, Goldie.
Hi, Noodle.
Another. All the dogs are in this tiny room.
They're like, let's talk about Lassie. We
Yes.
never talk about Rin Tin Tin on this show.
So anyway, I picked up 20 years after. We're going to try to get the whole series of these.
They're really good.
And this is a beauty, and these are, all in this edition. I want to get all of these. So we're working on that. Here.
If you didn't pick up a stick and try to poke your friend's eye out after watching one of these movies,
that's
I
right.
don't know what's wrong with
What is seriously? Okay, so and then this book I just bought off of Amazon. It was, I think, they had a deal going, or it was on sale, and so I just plunked the money down because I've been wanting it for a long time. Again, I'm sorry if I've shown this before, but this is Ian Worthington's Athens After Empire, History from Alexander the Great to the Emperor Hadrian, and it's a very beautiful Oxford edition.
Do you know that for the longest time I just thought somebody had really sloppy spelling on Hadrian?
What did you think it said?
Adrian.
Oh. Like the H was
I
silent
was
or
like,
something.
nope, it's Adrian's Wall.
Adrian's Wall? Well, I'm sure someone out there named Adrian.
Appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. I won't need to read a descriptions. I mean, it is what it is, and we have a lot of books to show, and I don't want to scare off Martine.
Oh, no, I'm fine.
You could? Okay, great.
Okay.
So the other day, I picked that one up, several weeks ago. I can't remember if I showed it to you. Anyway, so this book is used. It came without a dust jacket, but that's okay. This kind of falls in line with, I've been collecting lately the works of William Shirer. And, he wrote The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, that massive book, a bestseller back in the day. Still,
You know what? It's weird. I don't read those books.
She doesn't read those books.
No.
Well, they're history, and I read them.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Well, this book, I didn't know that he had written a history of the fall of France in World War II, which I had been looking for. I think it's by the works of, is it Julian Jackson or no? Julian Jackson wrote a biography on de Gaulle. Robert Paxton, I think, is the one I'm trying to find a cheap used copy of his massive study on Vichy France, because I'm very interested in learning more about the Vichy regime. Anyway, so this came across my radar, and it's his classic work, The Collapse of the Third Republic. Says here, it's kind of faded here, An Inquiry into the Fall of France in 1940. And as you can see, it's a used book. I'm trying to get the sticker off. It came without a dust jacket, but it's still very decent condition. And well, someone was nice enough, even though the dust jacket did not survive. Someone cut. Look at that! Someone cut out the fly leaf or whatever and pasted them in so you can get the description. Isn't that funny? I might have ordered this off Thrift Books or something, but nice old book. I have Goldie trotting around my toes down here.
Okay.
This book is a 1969 edition, and it's got that wonderful old 1969 book smell.
How you don't sneeze after doing that?
Ooh, no, I don't sneeze. It's like a drug for me. I'm just like, So this is going to kind of go on the same shelf as my other growing amount of books by Shirer, including, it's funny though, I have a book club edition of The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich that I don't want. I want not a book club edition. I want a nice heavy, so I still don't have that one, which is known to be his masterpiece. But at my last video where I talked about my Second and Charles book haul,
Yes.
I found the second volume of William Shirer's own personal memoirs of that time. And so I just decided to go look for volumes 1 and 3 because it's a trilogy. So
I'm blaming you for this, Bill.
Bill, she's blaming you. Did you hear that? Oh, look at Goldie. She's in Martine's arms. She loves her. So I went and ordered this off Thrift Books. You see the little sticker down here. But this came the other day. I'm still waiting for the first volume to arrive so I could start reading that because I want to start from the beginning. But it's the same type of edition that I showed you from the book haul meetup video. And it's got the 20th century journey at the top. And this one is A Native's Return, 1945 to 1988. And it's a memoir of a life and the times. So now I have volume 3, just waiting on the first one. So I'll be happy to have that. So I'll put this with The Collapse of the Third Republic. Okay. Before I move on, I'm not sure if I got around to showing this to you guys, but I was really excited that I finally got it. The price dropped on Amazon.
I love this title.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
He does a series of these where it's the big book of
I love that. What are the other things that he does?
female detectives.
Get that.
The big book of Christmas mysteries or something.
What? I'm going to have to look this guy
Look it up. His name is Otto Penzler, and I have been eyeballing this ever since I saw it on Steve's channel like 6-8 months ago when it came out. It's the big book of espionage, the most complete compendium of double agents, dead drops, and duplicitous deeds ever collected.
Awesome.
It dropped down to I think $10. and they're nice. You know, they just fall flat. You can read them.
That is fantastic.
Don't you like these?
I love them.
I'm glad you're excited as I am.
Yeah.
Please feel free to dig in.
I'm looking right now.
Look it up. Otto Penzler. The publisher is Vintage Crime, also known as Black Lizard. Black Lizard Original.
Goldie wants to know if there's a big book.
Actually, let me look. Oh, honey, it has them all here in the front. The Big Book of Real Murders. I think you'd like that. REEL.
Oh.
I think you'd like the real.
Yes,
I'll see if they have the others on Hamilton Book. I'll pick you up a copy. Look at
it.
this. The Big Book of Female Detectives, like I told you. The Big Book of Rogues and Villains. Some of these might be harder to find than others. Like, I have not seen the Big Book of Jack the Ripper anywhere.
Oh, I don't want to read that anyway.
They have the Big Book of Sherlock Holmes stories. They have the Black Lizard Big Book of Locked Room Mysteries, which would be fun. Oh, I was right. They do have a Big Book of Christmas Mysteries. The Big Book of Ghost Stories. They have the Black Lizard Big Book of Pulps. I mean, they have a ton of these in the series. But I really wanted to get espionage because I've been kind of on a espionage kick lately with some of my nonfiction reading.
Audiobook too.
Oh, she likes her audiobooks, so there you have it. So that was I was pretty tickled. It got so low, I was like, because it was sitting at $21 forever in my Amazon cart, and I'm like,
Big Book of Adventure Stories.
Yeah. And so it finally dropped down like to 11, and then I was like, how low can you go? Then it went down to like $10.02, and I said, I am pushing fate here. I know I'm going to see this thing jump back up. So I picked this up for a song.
Yeah, Victorian Mysteries.
See?
That'd
Victorian Mysteries.
Golden Age detective story.
And that's all on audiobooks. Okay. That's kind of fun to listen to. Speaking of audiobooks, guys, sorry, I know we're all over the map with this video, but that's kind of the fun of it. In fact, someone commented on my last video. I said, do you like when I do chatty videos? And a few people said, I like when you do these kind of things. So we're being chatty tonight, just for you.
We're sorry for the other 78% who never responded, who were like, no, actually.
Sorry for the rest of you who are like, please don't be chatty. Just show us the goods.
Show us the damn books.
Speaking of audiobooks, and we need to start that at some point. You know, sometimes we're getting really tired with TV, even just like Netflix, and we feel like we've looked at everything. But I pre-ordered an audio just because I used to buy his books, but now space is at such a high.
Really? Tell me more.
Yeah, space is as such a
Premium?
Premium. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word there. In this townhome, whatever you want to call it, that I just decided for Stephen King's new release that we'd listen to it on audiobook. And so I pre-ordered it because I had a credit, and it's ready for us to go. Billy Summers.
Good reviews.
I've been hearing really good things. There was one booktuber, I think Zach's Books. He's a huge Stephen King fan. He did a vlog where he got it the day it dropped, and he started vlogging like, I got the book. I'm going to start reading it tonight, and I'm not going to stop until it's done. Like, he was going to read it through the night and then vlog here and there. And then, so he got to one point, and then he started to say something. I'm like, oh, I can't hear that. I can't know. So I had to stop watching the video. But some people are really into Stephen King. I used to, I liked his work, or I enjoyed reading his books when I was younger. But a lot of the things that annoy us that other people have pointed out too,
the way he
well, I don't know. We're calling him a.
Well, no, I'm not. It's very, very awkward listening, whether it's listening or reading, to him, quote unquote, cover or depict people of color, because it is just.
We felt that way about Mr. Mercedes with Bill Hodges and his African American neighbor.
Oh, the dude who helped him with the lawn. And
but the way they were talking to each other, it seemed so, it sounded so off and very kind of offensive.
It sounded like white mansplaining black people.
Yeah, so I mean, there's parts of Stephen King that we both have identified that we don't enjoy. Also, sexism?
Yeah, he's always talking about whether or not a woman is pretty. Like, that's all that matters to him. It's like, well, Sue wasn't really, I'm not going to say she was ugly, but...
Was that in his older fiction or in his more recent?
Well,
because
even in the 10, 22, 60...
11, 22, 63.
He does that too. It's he's fixated on women's looks. And I'm like, you, sir, are no insert name of male heartthrob here. You know what I mean?
Sorry, God,
like,
okay.
Dude, like,
listen, Martine.
Listen.
I love that she has these. Does anyone out there let us know in the comments below how you feel about that? If you're a Stephen King fan,
King is a bit of a like. He's like, well,
is he a looksist?
Her bust wasn't that great, but and his sex scenes are awful, just awful.
Yeah, Martine has mentioned that before, that they're just gross to listen to read.
I was driving home yesterday and I saw a Christine car. No joke.
Oh, a Christine?
I saw
car
a
on the road?
Car. Yes.
Wow.
Same colors and everything.
I do want to mention another thing that in fact, Steve pointed this out, and he was talking about Billy Summers, I think, or just one of his recent books. But he hit on the same thing that I've noticed too throughout the readings. He uses these outdated colloquialisms, you know what I mean? Like stuff that people don't talk this way anymore. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, you're stuck in the 50s or the 60s. It's like, please stop. No one talks this way.
I think it was the Losers.
Teenagers don't talk this way.
I think it was the Losers Club, which is a really, really good Stephen King fan podcast.
Okay.
And I painted at least 4 rooms of this house listening to their episodes.
Yeah.
In fact, I think I painted.
You painted this room. She painted the accent wall here.
Because they have gone through every Stephen King book in order, and revisited both the book and then if there was a film or an
yes.
And one girl, one guest, because I think it's normally guys, but one woman on the podcast sort of said, it's like he's a wannabe 50s greaser with some of these characters, especially like Christine.
A greaser,
like
yeah.
Buddy
Repperton.
Repperton.
Yeah, totally. And here's the thing: it's like if you're writing, if your setting is set in the 50s, okay, I get it. But when he was writing stuff like Christine, which was set in the 70s or 80s, then you got to lose some of that jargon, and he doesn't.
Get hip to the lingo.
Well, yeah, and so some of the dialogue and the phraseology and the constant. This has always grated on me, and I know he's a big fan of music, but he's always making. He's got 5 pages of like quotations from songs, and I'm like, oh, God, here we go again. Everything has to do with a song with you.
Okay, we sound like we're super critiquing him.
We are.
It's only because we've read like 30 of his books at least.
That gives us the right, I think, to critique him.
And recognize that, like, I read Thinner in one afternoon because I was like, oh my God, he's still losing weight. He's still losing weight.
Wow.
To this day, I cannot eat cherry pie without thinking about Thinner.
Really?
Seriously. So, I mean, prolific. And I always think of the Mad TV episode where Jim Carrey's playing Stephen King, and he's got writer's block. And so he's sitting at the kitchen table, and like his wife is like, "What are you doing?" And so she's vacuuming, and he's like, "Vacuum from hell, Satan's Hoover." He's like, "Okay, what can I use?"
What is his inspiration anymore?
But I did notice that with Mr. Mercedes, he's throwing in all these modern, like, and he took out his nanopod, or he took out his iPad, and I'm like, dude,
he's trying.
Stop it.
He can't.
It's like the dad jokes. He's just reverting to dad jokes.
I'm just gonna play with my hair while she's talking. No, but he does. You're right, and he needs to get. He needs to understand how to write about technology. But you know what? I think he's at an age, and he's got such sway with. He can write anything he wants. Yeah. And editors don't mess around with, editing his work anymore. I think, you know what I mean? He can go as long or short as he wants, and it's carte blanche. Look, I'm saying back in the day, he could weave a killer tale. Like Pet Sematary, easily one of my all-time faves.
Yeah, but we're not suggesting he goes back to cocaine.
We're not suggesting you do not,
books.
I know, right? Like The Shining, outstanding. Yeah. Salem's Lot, sorry. That's my favorite.
I love that's your favorite.
You love that?
I love
it's actually a little bit of a closet favorite of many people.
I put together the dresser in the room next door.
I love Salem's Lot.
Yeah.
I did. I read Salem's Lot right after I read The Shining. I bought a big volume, a combined trilogy of stories from Barnes & Noble. I remember it. And I read over Christmas, I read both The Shining and Salem's Lot. Salem's Lot scared me. The Shining, not so much.
One of the comments, I remember this from Losers Club podcast again, and because I do like how he has created a Stephen King universe with all of the interlocking pieces that he has
weaves in. Yeah.
And so, one character will be driving through Derry and will mention a car, or mention a clown, or mention these children.
Yes,
or, like even
children.
11/22/63 mentioned the kids in Derry.
They did.
It was a comment that was made that was like, New Jerusalem's still out there.
Yes, New Jerusalem, baby.
Yeah.
It's a great, and I've watched the 80s the 70s miniseries.
The original's about
the original. I've watched that several. I have it on DVD. We've watched it 3 times already with David Soul. I love that. And we're listening to it on audiobooks. But we're going to give Billy Summers a try.
Yeah.
And we'll report back on that. He seems to be getting a really good foothold. It's less horror and more of like detective, police procedure, that kind of stuff, which is okay because I do like my mystery, my detective thriller stuff as well.
Yeah.
So he's been doing well on that account. So anyway, Steve, sorry we were giving you Steve King. Sorry, we were giving you Stephen King.
Stevie.
We were giving you a little bit of a hard time, but if we didn't engage with your work, it would mean we just don't think anything of you. And we're engaging still.
And he's a Red Sox fan. So
and he's a Red Sox fan, and she's a Bo Sox fan, so what are you going to do? All right, so you know what? I got to keep cranking. We got 31 minutes. How you doing?
That all?
Yes.
I'm sweating. It's like stressful in here.
It's a tiny room, you guys. Pray for us that we will find a house real soon.
Cooler weather.
Because I can't. It's a nice backdrop for me, but this is a tiny ass room.
And the dogs have decided to join in.
And there's dogs in here.
And although Goldie
And this is where I work during the day now too, and it's just. I'm hoping though by autumn or winter we're out of here. I don't want to think of having to be in here with the snow. I want to have a nice big office, but we'll see.
Yes.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go on to some boring books for a minute.
I'm out of here.
No, don't leave me. We're going to lose the audience.
I, again, overstated on that.
This was a random pickup because I was looking at Lindsay Davis's Roman
I was going to say Lindsay Lohan. I was like, this is interesting.
No, not Lindsay Lohan. When would I ever? I don't read celebrity memoirs and shit like that.
Mean Girls.
I didn't mean to say that. Lindsay Davis. I got this. You know what? When I'm watching BookTube and listening to people talk about other books they've mentioned about other people, this is where all these books come from. I get something filed away in my head.
I blame you, other people.
And I think Steve Donahue was reviewing a new book by Lindsay Davis's Roman history series, and so I was looking at, but he said he thought she was a good writer. And that he really liked Rebels and Traitors, which was a novel about the English Civil War. Right?
Yeah.
So I was like, huh. So I just kind of looked it up online, and I was like, and it's a big chunkster of a historical fiction. I haven't read anything by Lindsay Davis, and so I thought, well, if this is maybe the best of her work, if it is, I mean, I don't know, but she's
out there.
She's written a lot.
It was just my first one.
I picked up a used edition. This is a 2009 hardcover. Yeah, and it covers the English Civil War. It says here, set against the terrible struggle of the English Civil War and the dark plots of the Commonwealth, Rebels and Traitors is the story of tradesmen, printers, adventurers, and scavengers, and how this turbulent era affected everyone from rich to poor, and of the hopes and dreams that carried them through.
Has nothing to do with Prince Harry.
No. It has a love story, though. You want to hear about it? Why is my camera, it's kind of flickering. Gideon Jukes and Juliana Lovell. On opposite...
It doesn't make it any better, but...
Sorry. Gideon Jukes and Juliana Lovell.
It's easy for you to say.
On opposite sides of the struggle, meet during one of the era's most crucial events. After adversity and loss, their mutual attraction may one day bring the comfort and companionship for which they both have yearned. But the flowering of radical... thought collapses.
We all know what that means.
Oh God. It's hard for me to be serious when Martine's here because she makes me laugh all the time. let's just...
Sweet. B, sweet, sweet. C, flowering.
That's an inside joke. Okay.
Yeah. You asked me to be here.
I did. I asked you to be here.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, it's a love story set in this English Civil War. I love this evocative cover, this painting, this artwork. Beautiful stuff, you guys. And so I thought I'd just put that up. Look at that. That's kind of neat. All right. I'm not sure if I've shown this to you guys, but I bought this from Yale University Press for a song. Mm-hmm. Showing Martine. This is Heinrich. I kind of kid. I was calling him Heine. Heinrich Heine. Or maybe it is Heine.
Heine.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Heine.
Oh, yeah. We're taking it down a notch.
We're taking the Heine.
We're taking the Heine. Heinrich Heine. Heinrich Heine. Writing the Revolution by George Prochnow. And this is part of the Jewish Lives series that Yale University Press puts out.
Yeah, right.
Well, they do several in this series, it's a very interesting series, and it's a nice, small, compact little hardcover. And as many of you may know, Heinrich Heine was a virtuoso German poet, satirist, and visionary humanist whose dynamic life story and strikingly original writing are ripe for rediscovery. So Heinrich Heine lived from 1797 to 1856. I have one of his books from one of the those reprints where they just reprint the original, so the typeset could be really faded and just because no one's done a reprint.
Yeah.
So I have some of Heinrich Heine's writings about like Germany, which are really powerful stuff.
He's like, everything's fine. It seems fine right now.
Everything's okay.
I wonder, though.
Yeah. Let's see here. So George Prochnow contextualizes Heine's biography within the different revolutionary, political, literary, and philosophical movements of his age. This book explores the many dualities of Heine's nature, bringing to life a fully dimensional character, while also casting into sharp relief the reasons his writing and personal story matter urgently today. So just a little... what's so funny?
No, it's just Heinz. I was like Heinz beans.
No, nothing like that. So it's a little less than 300 pages, but it's part of the Jewish Lives series. So pick that one up. All right. Another intellectual biography. No, I only got a couple more, and then you can chime in again, or maybe not. She might leave. I don't know, but don't leave because everyone loves you. Okay, we have Ibn Khaldun, an intellectual biography by Robert Irwin, who wrote... What?
Robert Irwin.
No, but he wrote a book on dangerous knowledge, which refuted the... what's-his-face, Edward Said's claims of Orientalism and all that kind of stuff. So he's...
I totally knew that.
She totally knew that, everybody. But this is a Princeton Press book. By the way, I picked up a few more. Princeton Press had a sale recently, and I also picked up 4 more books from them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That'll be in another video.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, she's finding out all my dirty secrets.
Yeah, really. This was a bad idea, babe.
Oops. Well, I'm learning for next time.
It's like it's time for mail, and Peggy counts on the fact that she has better hearing than I do, and so she's like, "Oh, I'll be right back." And it's because you've heard
I've
heard
the thump of the box of books on the
because our guard dogs are so amazing, they're still asleep and snoring.
They're asleep. I just let me go.
I need to use the bathroom.
Yeah. And then I sneak them inside.
Right.
Well, let's see. Ibn Khaldun, he lived from 1332 to 1406, is generally regarded as the greatest intellectual ever to have appeared in the Arab world, a genius who ranks as one of the world's great minds. Yet the author of the Muqaddimah, the most important study of history ever produced in the Islamic world, is not as well known as he should be, and his ideas are widely misunderstood. In this groundbreaking intellectual biography, Robert Irwin provides an engaging and authoritative account of Ibn Khaldun's extraordinary life, times, writings, and ideas.
And then he went off and saved restaurants from bankruptcy. Robert Irwin.
Oh, God. The Kitchen Impossible guy? Yeah, he the Kitchen Impossible guy. Did you know that he did this?
He did this while he was working out.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
So it's a nice little volume. I'm going to put this next to my copy of Dangerous Knowledge by Robert Irwin, the intellectual writer, historian, not the Kitchen Impossible guy.
Listen, he seems very nice.
Okay. And then I have a nice little biography. He does seem nice. I have a little biography here, a little theological history here, or spiritual lives. Bernard of Clairvaux, An Inner Life. You know,
I like the cover.
It's very nice, isn't it?
Jesus had an afro.
Oh God, honey,
that's amazing.
Just stop.
Disco comes to the Bible.
Oh
that's
my!
Great.
All right,
outstanding.
Bernard of Clairvaux by Brian Patrick McGuire. This is put out by Cornell University Press, and I learned about it. Probably, actually, this has been sitting here for a while, and I haven't told you about it. Wait. It was so cheap on Amazon. It was one of those days where I heard on Johnny Keene's channel, he's like, I picked this up for like $7 on Amazon. I don't know why it was so cheap. It might have even been cheaper. It was $5.
Like
oh God, yeah, it does. That must be the reason why.
Yeah.
So it's a study on Bernard of Clairvaux's inner life. I'm not going to read the jacket.
Read it.
No, because I know you'll have more to say.
I can't get past Jesus as Bob Ross, so you're good.
That's supposed to be like a halo of holiness.
It is. If you've ever seen Bob Ross, his hair is holiness.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
It's blasphemy, honey.
No. Magical trees.
Okay, let's stick with the spiritual theme one more time. Let's see what she has to say about this one, guys. Can you guess? I heard about this from Instagram, from Jason Harrigan's
Thanks, Jason.
Instagram channel. He said he was reading this, and I was like, oh, I remember reading The Cloister Walk. Was it by Catherine Davis or Anne? I forget the author's name, but it was The Cloister Walk. And I've always been intrigued by, people that go into seclusion for religious reasons. And
you know that I grew up next to a Carmelite convent.
Oh. Martine,
yes.
She grew up next to a Carmelite convent.
That's right.
Wow.
Those nuns were mysterious.
They were mysterious.
Very. You whenever you went to mass, you didn't pay attention to what the priest was saying. You were just trying to look behind the veil. That's all you were trying to do. And they made stuffed toys for the Easter Bazaar or the Christmas Bazaar.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they overfed the priest dogs and a couple of fatalities there accidentally.
Well, that wasn't nice.
Well, no, they just spoiled them. But they were like these things
sweet.
of mystery.
Carmelite nuns were women of mystery.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. Now, honey,
Mysterious Brides of Christ.
I want to get a book about the Carmelites.
Oh, for God's sake.
This is how it happens, honey.
No.
So stop talking.
Make it stop.
All right, so what we have here is an infinity of little hours. I bought this used, hardcover. It says 5 Young Men and Their Trial of Faith in the Western World's Most Austere Monastic Order by Nancy Klein McGuire. Another McGuire, but not...
That's a precursor to the Hunger Games.
What do you mean?
Just read that again. Their ordeal of...
The Trial of Faith?
Yeah, that's Hunger Games.
An infinity... As long as the word cornucopia is not in here. So it's a little volume here, but I know Jason Harrigan was reading it. And it's a story about a 5-year journey 5 young men took. They arrived at the imposing gates of Parkminster in 1960. So that's when it begins. And I'm just intrigued. I'd like to know what
So was this a seminary and they
their
all,
monks' lives.
They all, didn't make it, or they did, or the horrible things happened.
Well, look, they go into seclusion, right? It's a monastic order, and it says here that it covers the 5 years of their life there, and after 5 years, they each face a choice. If they stay to make a solemn profession, and if they do, that means they'll never leave.
Right.
But if he leaves, he must turn his back on a journey to find God, his life's ambition. I know, right? You should be able to find God, and well,
That's what
I know. But anyway, So interviews with the monks. She kind of uses the notes, journals, and other correspondence to describe firsthand the Carthusian life. So I was really intrigued by that. Thanks, Jason, for sharing that on Instagram and giving me the idea to pick this up.
Thanks, Jason.
Yeah, Martine's very happy. It's okay. I'm going to start cycling out books. I am.
Yes, at Second and Charles.
At Second and Charles. Yes. Okay, so I don't know if I keep saying this. I don't know if I've shown you this, but I decided I wanted to read the books of Roberto Saviano after we watched the Awesome 000 series.
You need to stop watching and reading and listening to things.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's never going to happen. Anyway, but these are supposed to be really good books about the slums of Naples and like the mafia. Well, the mafia that kind of springs up there. But anyway, this is the Piranhas. And it says the boy bosses of Naples.
Yeah, the sexy boy bosses of Naples.
Yeah.
They all ride Vespas and go around saying, ciao. That's an Eddie Izzard.
My gosh. I bought this one, I think, used somewhere as well. But let's see. Nicholas Fiorillo is a brilliant and ambitious 15-year-old from the slums of Naples, eager to make his mark and to acquire power in the money that comes with it. With 9 friends, he sets out to create a new paranza, or gang. Together they roam the streets on their motor scooters, learning how to break into the network of small-time hoodlums that controls drug dealing and petty crime in the city. What?
Our gang, or Little Rascals. That's how Little Rascals started.
They're called the Piranhas, honey. They're not called the Little Rascals.
Well, that was their second choice for a name. The girl hating men's club or whatever.
Oh,
what was the name of
I don't.
Yeah, their
yes.
club, but the Piranhas would have been the second.
That's
choice.
right.
Yeah, second choice.
Well, it says here they learn to cheat and to steal, to shoot semi-automatic pistols and AK-47s. That's great. Slowly, they begin to wrest control of the neighborhoods from enemy gangs while making alliances with failing old bosses. Nicholas's strategic brilliance is prodigious, and his cohort's rapid rise and envelopment in the ensuing maelstrom of violence and death is impossible to turn away from.
Is it though?
So this is the first book, and I know he's got a new one out, or it's newer, and it follows this story of this gang, and it's called Savage Kiss, I believe.
And the third one's called Shark Week.
Could be.
Yeah. Or the fourth one's called 3D.
Promise.
And the fifth one's Sharknado.
Oh my God. Next book, in case I haven't shown you guys, is called Oppose Any Foe, and I think I have because I talked about Mark Moyer. He's written a book on the Vietnam War. Steve Moyer? Oh, Moyer with an E, though. This is an A. The Rise of America's Special Operations Forces. I think I might have shown you this. So, just a standard good history on the rise of Spec Ops in the United States. And I enjoy Mark Moyer's work, so I thought, and it was like $5.95 on Hamilton Book or Book Outlet. I forget. So I picked it up.
That's Gidget's credo.
What is?
Oppose any foe.
That is, she's asleep in the bed at my feet. Well, we're at 47 minutes, so we're going to have one more book left.
Because my back is about to...
I know it is. We don't have good seating in here. Ooh. All right. I was reading a book for review, I think, and it was covering a lot of the stuff going on in Afghanistan. Wow. And no, it's good. Yeah, it's fine. And still trying to play with the lighting in here. And I wanted an overall... I'm just still very intrigued by the history of Afghanistan and how it's been able to conquer so many different, ostensibly, powerful first world countries, how it just, it's the graveyard of empires, and it has the history of the culture, the people, like what it's seen throughout millennia. I've just always been fascinated by Afghanistan, and I kind of wanted like an overall history, and I actually stumbled upon this book and was able to get
I can see how you would stumble on it. Look at the size of it. I'm surprised you didn't break your foot.
It's a brick. But I found it for a song, and it covers everything I want to know about. And this is Peter Thompson's The Wars of Afghanistan. Messianic terrorism, tribal conflicts, and the failures of great powers, like which I just alluded to. It is put out by Public Affairs Books, but it is massive. We're talking massive. I was able to get it probably for $10, maybe 11, I forget. And it's in great condition. I think I just bought it third party. So, so that was one of my recent used purchases, and I've got quite a bit here.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
It's not their fault. It's all mine.
It's all yours.
Martine has moved over there in case you can't hear her anymore. It's kind of... Anyway, well, we're coming up on 50 minutes. It's been an interesting weekend. We're hoping to have clearer air tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I know it was a long kind of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. We had some laughs, as we do. We don't take things too seriously here. I was going to say at the History Show, but I do take history seriously. But we don't take ourselves seriously.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
yes.
And with the end of the Olympics, I think we are going to do more audiobooks because there's nothing on TV anymore.
Yeah, in case you couldn't hear her just now, with the end of the Olympics, that's pretty much what we've been watching lately. And with the end of that, we're thinking, let's dive into some of these audiobooks now because we're just getting burnt out. We're rewatching series that we watched before, and it's just like, okay. Something new. So that's what we're going to do. I think maybe we'll do that later tonight.
Yeah.
We'll dive into Billy Summers.
I'll continue with Middlemarch, and I really
Middlemarch. I'm going to start reading Middlemarch at some point very soon. It's time to feed the dogs and the humans. We need to go pick up our groceries.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll upload this tonight, you guys. Probably many of you won't see this until Sunday or Monday, tomorrow morning.
Or
but
Friday.
why is my stuff is glitching? Anyway, better go before the technology stops working. So have a great Sunday night and a Monday morning, and we will talk to you soon.
Yes.
Here at the bookshelf.
Bye.
Thanks for welcoming Martine to the
What?
Well, I mean, just thanks for just thanking the folks out there for loving you so much, honey.
I'll get out of here as one person. Love you, Peggy. Other Peggy.
Other Peggy. All right, guys, we'll talk soon. Have a great one. Bye.